Lil Peep is known to have a lot of unreleased music. The exact number of finished tracks in storage can't be known, but it could very well be in the hundreds, as Peep was known to make music very quickly, claiming in an interview with Ham Radio that he completed Crybaby in its entirety in just a few days.
Like, there's no skip through songs.
Yeah, it's tight.
How long did it take you to make this?
Shit, I appreciate you. It took me about 3-4 days.
Latitude, or Longitude if it's opposite day, is another one of these lost tracks. But to me it stands out amongst the other leaked music we've heard from Peep. It may very well be a masterpiece.
You ain't going nowhere with that attitude. I can't find anyone that's like me at this latitude. You ain't going nowhere when I'm mad at you. I can't find anyone that's like me on this avenue.
Upon first listening to this song, fans of Peep will most definitely realize the song's age. The monotone, childish delivery of Peep's voice, the slow, plucky guitar instrumental, harken back to a time when Gus had only just become Lil Peep. This lonely teenager who up until this point had been known as Trap Goose, terrible, had only just begun his journey to success. A low quality version of Latitude leaked onto YouTube sometime around June last year, and while it didn't receive millions of views like some of other Peep's music exclusive to YouTube, the song developed a small cult following. It seemed that the few that had found the song were in love with it. However, because of the song's low quality, it's pretty difficult to listen to and analyze how it sounds. But thankfully, what I assume is the full quality version recently became available, and now I can hear exactly what Gus was striving for at the beginning of his career. Latitude is produced by Grief, who later went on to produce some of Peep's most popular songs, such as Praying to the Sky, Veins, and Toxic City. Grief is a member of the collective Team Sesh, which is an independent record label founded by Bones, with who Peep shared a lot of musical similarities. And I'm sure some of you watching will have at least heard of him. Latitude starts almost immediately with a sample from Andy Kaufman's Kick in the Pants.
I think you should straighten up a little bit. I think you should, you should look at yourself in the mirror sometime and say, look, what am I doing? Why am I this way?
Which is off like an album or something. I really couldn't figure out what this guy did, like he was a comedian or something, but he also made music, I guess. Regardless, Grief is known to have used this sample several times before whilst producing other Team Sesh songs. It sets a really accurate precedent for what the song is about too. We then head straight into the chorus, which is surprisingly figurative and metaphorical considering Peep's age at the time of writing the song. Here Peep refers to the anxiety of feeling different or less than those around him, using the word avenue to refer to his hometown of Long Beach, New York, which Peep claimed to be a very normal and boring town. This fear of being trapped in a bubble is increasingly common amongst teenagers today, as I feel like the generational gap between us and our elders is possibly the biggest it's ever been. I think because of the advancement of technology and the commonality of the internet, as well as other things like the opioid epidemic. A lot of us see how our parents turned out and want to go down a different path in life, something that strays from the average cookie-cutter 9-to-5 work cycle. I think that this sentiment is shared by so much of the youth of today, yet still rejected by older generations. Peep communicates this perfectly, not just in this song either, but throughout his life. Why was he covered head to toe in tattoos and piercings? Why did he cut and dye his hair so frequently? It's because he didn't want to be normal. He never wanted a normal job or a normal life. Most Peep fans know this already, but I find it so interesting that he was exploring these themes so early on. The chorus also makes note of a girl who is explored further in the verse. Lil Peep talks about his relationship with his ex-girlfriend. I assume he's talking about Emma, who he broke up with several times during their years of knowing one another. The prospect of being alone forever is implied through the chorus. Again, because of the way that he presents himself and chooses to live his life differently than most. I love Gus's music and everything it stood for with all my heart, and it can be hard listening to the same songs year and year over, trying to find new details that I might have previously looked over, knowing that there is only a finite amount of tracks left unheard. Which is the reason why when I heard this almost perfect song, I wanted to dive deep. Some could argue that there's not a lot of depth to be explored in just a short chorus and a single verse, but I disagree. This song's lyrics can so easily be left to interpretation. The only research I did into this song, the only research I really could do into this song, is reading into the Genius annotations, which are very limited and brief. The rest of my knowledge is filled in by my own life experiences and how I want to interpret the song. And I think that's what a good musician does. They don't tell you what to think through boring linear writing. They leave it somewhat ambiguous. It may only be a chorus and a verse, but it's the way that I feel when I hear the song that matters, which is why to me, Latitude is Lil Peep's unreleased masterpiece.
One night here, baby, then I'm gone. Everything you ever wanted from me, I could give it to you right now. Hey, watch my hands move, baby, it's me. I'm about to knock your